Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome to my Waffle Square, where I obsess about things and you get to benefit from it. Well, in episode 20 of our ongoing series, where we are refurbishing this 2006 Land Rover LR3 with the V8 petrol engine, I'm going to tell you how I rectified a problem with these aftermarket remotes not working. So let's get started.
Obsession.
Brought to you by Waffle Square.
So quick backstory, when I bought this vehicle for my daughter Aspen, it came with one remote that did not function. The actual buttons were broken on the circuit board itself and there was no hope of redeeming it. So I had received one remote with the Gap ID tool that I purchased off of eBay, and then I purchased another two from a different eBay supplier. The three keys are indistinguishable from each other, so I don't know which of the three was the problem remote, but in episode 10, I took you through the entire process of how I got them cut, and then how I used the Gap ID tool, which is an OBD reader specifically designed for Jaguars and Land Rovers, to program each of the three remotes. And in that video, one of them didn't work that well. It would like unlock but not lock again. It was kind of intermittent. Well, Gordon, one of the viewers, recently asked me for an update if I had solved the issue with that one remote, because he was having the same problem with aftermarket remotes. So that caused me to dig in and figure out what was going on with this remote. I took it and I drove it around in the ignition so that it would hopefully charge, and it didn't seem to work. So let me show you how to open up these aftermarket remotes and how I fixed the problem. All right, first thing we want to do is release the key, and then right here you can see there is a tiny little Phillips head screw. It's actually a Phillips 00. Tiny. All right, these are little spring clamp pliers here. Notice how when you squeeze, they actually open. And that's what we're going to use as our pry tool. Now, anywhere along this line, we need to break open the two shells. And unlike the actual Land Rover ones that are apparently glued or something together, these are not. They're just simply popped together. So watch this. See it start to bust open? Perfect. Let's get in here. I want to make sure nothing springs off and flies away. So keep that. Here's our motherboard with the three buttons. We want to get to the other side so we can see what's going on in there. Does this simply just fall out, or do we have to pry it out? No, we can just pick it right out with our fingers. Now, here's the good news. Unlike the ones that are in the original Land Rover remote, where I've seen videos they have to desolder the battery, this one is just kind of loosely fit in here. So let's pop it out and see what size it is. So it actually has these two little pieces here that are like spot welded or glued or something to it. So I can see right here that it's a Max L, and I don't know if that's MI or ML 2032. It says right here, rechargeable. All right, so a 2032 battery is your typical 3-volt little quarter size battery. I have my multimeter set up here to DC. I've got this cool little alligator clip attachment to that probe. And then let's check the voltage. 3.2 volts, so that doesn't seem to be the problem. So these battery clips here are just loose fit in here. There's no solder. I wonder if that could be the problem. All right, the negative side has a little bend in it. So that goes right in here. See if we can get that one started. There we go. And then that goes through there. And you can see they're just there's a lot of slop. So I wonder if that might be the problem why this one isn't working. I bet if we fold these over and hold them in place better, that might solve our problem. Let's take some readings here. So here's our positive, right, and our negative. Yep. Now let's try right over there on that dot, and then this area around the positive side. And good, we're getting a complete circuit of the same voltage. So let's put it all back together and maybe that'll solve our problem. Okay, we're ready. I've got this little metal clip back in place here. I've got the circuit board back in place, and now we need to put the key back in and set the spring so that it will come out when we hit the button. So there's a little lip coming off the spring, and we want to set that right in this slot here and then give it a wind so that it will pop out when we hit the button. If we put it right in there like that, and then we set it in here, let's give it a wind in this direction. So that there's spring tension, get everything seated. Snap our cover back into place and test it. Nice. Okay, let's get our screw back in there. You might want some needle nose pliers or something to get that little screw started. Good. All right, let's take it to the car and test it. Moment of truth. Yep, I could hear that. And lock. Awesome, back in business. So if you too are having intermittent problems with your aftermarket remotes, I hope this video is very helpful to you. If it was, can you please give it a thumbs up? Also, please consider subscribing. I'm working really hard to put out good quality content. We got a lot more videos to come. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below if this solved your problem or if you're having some other issue with your aftermarket remotes. Speaking of comments, I've been getting a lot of them recently about what else I have planned with my daughter Aspen's LR3. John writes, I literally have to say that you have the best channel in regards to working on an LR3. Do you think you could work on the audio system anytime soon? I have a 2006 LR3 and I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to connect my iPhone. Well, John, thank you very much for your kind comment, and I have great news. I have been doing a bunch of research, and I think I have come up with a great system for the LR3. It will be a deck and trim piece that can go right in where the existing one is, and it's going to have a backup camera. It will also, because of the wiring harness I found, maintain all the functionality on the steering wheel. So that video is going to be coming after Christmas, since all of that is a gift for Aspen. We will also be going back underneath the vehicle soon to be changing out the transfer case and differential fluids. Now, speaking of a future episode, watch this. We hit lock. If we come over here, that's locked, but the front door, that front door actuator isn't working. Now, Aspen wants to paint this vehicle, and I don't blame her, since many parts of the paint have faded beyond the ability for us to fix them. But I still think it might be fun when we're getting all the stickers and things off, getting prepped to send it to a paint shop, to see if we could restore this hood with a little bit of cutting material. So if you're interested in that, let me know below and we'll play around with it. All that and more is coming, so please subscribe to the channel, and until then, thank you for watching.